give you such a cheery greeting, but we're usually discussing some sad and scary topics. Alright, today I want to talk about the how the socialism of FDR cast a long shadow to us in the current day. Now, he was one of the main ones that started everybody off being more dependent on the government. Of course, the Democrat presidents had been working on that earlier in the century. I mean, Woodrow Wilson is also responsible for a lot of other problems. I believe some of the taxes started under him, and they have just gotten worse and worse and worse. Frankly, I think, yes, the tax system is something that needs changed in our new country. He said the whole thing needs changed. It's a monumental task, but it must be done. We must have confidence it can be done. And I said, I can't believe how many shortages and rations there were during World War II. Now, if that was today, people would say, oh, you'll never get back your food and your rubber and everything like they did during the war. So I think the socialists, they had everybody in the palm of their hand. They had everybody, the Great Depression. They had them on work camps to survive. Then they had all the food rationing because of the war. The socialists, they could have just hung on to that forever. So I think it's a miracle that the people were able to get back to having their prosperity and everything with those socialists. And the people are gullible. I mean, I guess people want to be pampered and babied and taken care of and watched over, and people don't want to think for themselves, because that's apparently why the socialists and the communists get their foothold. I mean, who can resist free money or easy money? And when you get these guys in office who are just ready to promise everybody the world and tell them not to worry how it's going to be paid for, then you have trouble. And too often the people are too weak-minded to realize the trap they are getting themselves into. And of course, it's got progressively worse over the decades. And it's at the point right now, where the government basically owns your soul. And they're going to call for payment any time now. So, I mean, it's hard to pick on people from other eras because, they just didn't have the knowledge. They just didn't understand things like politics. But as a society, we need to make an effort to understand these things. I said, of course, the left is in the public schools and the colleges, so they want to make sure that the people think like them and do not understand freedom and do not understand how to remain free. It's a mess. So basically, I said, once again, the conservatives have abdicated their duty of trying to keep the country free. And the left has had these socialist programs around for a long time. And they shouldn't be here. There should have been opposition to them. I'm not saying we do not need to provide for, the elderly or the poor, but I'm saying it needs to be done in a way that is not going to wreck the nation. It needs to be done right. It hasn't been done right. It's been done wrong. It's been done left. And nobody has taken the time to fix it. The politicians have just let it ride, let it ride, let it ride, let it ride. Kick the can down to the next election, get me my money, get me my retirement, get me out of here. See, they're not caring about the people, they're not caring about the country, they're caring about themselves. Small wonder. And so now we are faced with the biggest problems. We are faced with having to undo all the crooked things that have been done throughout the last 200 years. We are faced with basically cleaning house. America has become a hoarder of corruption. A corruption hoarder. And I said, this goes for any country, any other Western nation too. I mean, if you're watching my video from another country. We've been hoarding corruption. Corruption has stacked up in our houses. Every room is filled. It's bursting at the seams. We need to clean house and throw it out and start fresh. So we just need people who are willing to fight for freedom and think of the good of their fellow man and not of them just themselves, because that's not right. We have to think of others, because we are our brother's keeper at the end of the day. And the Lord knows if we're cheating people, if we're trying to do a bad job just to gain power and money. God knows. So woe to those politicians. We know they have been up to no good for far too long. And we need to put forth our ideas and start the wheels in motion. We need to get action on this. Yep, it's going to take a while to filter through, and we're not sure how the change is going to affect. But the bottom line is, since from Woodrow Wilson to FDR to Biden, we have been suffering under the shadow of socialism and communism. And it's time we got ourselves out from under that shadow. We can do it. God bless. Let freedom ring.